Fortnite has got a lot of myths, and not all myths have to be related to the game's lore. How about the myth that if you play on Legacy Southpaw and get a victory royale, you instantly get the ninja skin? That's not even a myth. Yep, that's right. Only console players get it. Okay, maybe the part where you get the ninja skin isn't real, but you actually do get the bad grandpa skin. I mean, look at that sick cane. This man will kill you with only his pickaxe and be like, "Get wrecked, you whippersnappers," and then hit the most disgusting 1080 you've ever seen in your life. Well, hopefully my imagination has allowed you to understand that there's a lot of people that let their imaginations run wild too, which have led to some pretty interesting myths. Welcome back to Top 5 Gaming, everyone, where today we'll be breaking down the top 5 Fortnite myths that need to be busted. Batten down the hatches, the Fortnite Mythbusters are here to stay. Also, if you like this video and subscribe, you'll receive a mystery box, but that's just a theory. A game theory. Number 5, can you deflect a sniper round with your pickaxe? Back in December, a Reddit user by the name of Dr. Swoosh posted something pretty interesting to Reddit. He had a sniper rifle and had lined his shot up on someone who was mindlessly farming resources with absolutely no idea that someone was getting ready to take their life. It was an easy kill, one that should have been taken with no issues whatsoever, which is why Dr. Swoosh was so obviously confused that his target hadn't been taken out, even though his shot had been perfectly accurate. I guess the guys at Epic Games have been watching a little too much Star Wars, because the pickaxe in this clip deflects the shot from Dr. Swoosh's sniper, just like the lightsaber would deflect the shot of a blaster. I mean, I know PUBG has invincible pans, but even in that game, the bullets don't come back to attack the person who shot them. And that's exactly what happened in this clip. Dr. Swoosh fires a shot and it ricochets straight back toward him off of the pick's handle. It seems like this would be pretty easy to debunk as a visual glitch, but you can clearly see and hear the bullet harmlessly impact the water, meaning the bullet must have actually come off of the guy's pickaxe. This isn't the only case of deflecting things though, because the mechanic actually exists in the Save the World part of the game. You can actually knock away some of the projectile moves the creatures in Save the World use with melee weapons, so it could be the case that somehow the code found itself into Battle Royale and was somehow activated, allowing this guy in this scenario to knock away his enemy's sniper round. Number 4, is there actually a secret underground bunker in Wailing Woods? Season 4 of Fortnite Battle Royale has been pretty low-key in the secrets and hints it's been giving us for Season 5. I mean, in Season 3, we had a giant meteor hurling through the sky toward the island, so it's pretty obvious what was going to be coming in Season 4. This time around, though, all we really have is the giant missile in the villain base and the secret hatches that have popped up in various locations in the map. And in this myth, we're going to be talking about those very hatches. It's well known that it's completely impossible to break through the hatches on the map. No matter how much you shoot at them or hit them with your pickaxe, they simply won't break away. Well, that was true until someone discovered a way to destroy the sides of the hatches, allowing you to take a look down into the hole. Basically, all you need to do is put walls up surrounding the sides of the hatch, and then you destroy those walls. No one really knows why, but destroying the walls you place down also destroys the walls of the hatch, leaving only the top part visible. This lets you look straight down into the hatch, but you can't really see much at all. Well, you couldn't see much until the shopping carts were added into the game. It turns out that if you send your shopping cart down a ramp pointed straight at the gap in the walls of the hatch, you can drive straight down and into the hatch. So what's inside it? Well, a cool Easter egg. A bunker filled with secrets? Well, actually, it's nothing at all. It's just a room made of dirt. Not exactly very exciting, and this doesn't exactly mean that those hatches are never going to have anything in them, though. It's likely that they'll be updated either on the week before the end of season or at the beginning of Season 5, but for now, there's just nothing down there. Number 3, shooting between planks on player-made wood walls? Building is the most important thing to master in Fortnite Battle Royale. I mean, come on. The game is literally called Fortnite, so obviously the main focus of the game is going to be building impressive forts to help you beat your enemies throughout the game. But for some people, the materials that you use can lead to some pretty embarrassing fails, especially when people think that they can shoot through the planks on their wooden walls. Learning how to use your buildings to the best of your ability is an important part of Fortnite. You have to learn how to build, and doing stuff like building a straight single ramp instead of doubling up or putting walls down in front of your ramps is a surefire way to get killed. You also need to know higher level tips, like the fact that you can click edit on your built structures and see straight through them into the world around you, and so that no one can sneak up on you. But one thing you can't do, even though it seems like you might be able to, is shoot through the cracks between the wooden planks of your player-built wooden walls. Now, trust me, I can understand why you might think you can do this. I mean, it's a giant crack in a wall, right? Of course, bullets should be able to sneak through those with no ease. Well, unfortunately, that's not the case. And when you shoot your gun and try to get your bullets through the cracks, all you end up doing is damaging and destroying your own structures, which is something that will almost always lead to your death. The hitbox for the wooden structures are the same as the hitboxes for all the other structures. They're completely wrapped to the shape of the object, and unless you edit your windows into them, they don't pay attention to things like the gaps between the wood. It's crazy that I still see people trying to do this, even with Season 5 just around the corner. You'd think that people would have learned by now, right? Number 2, do llamas ever spawn in the center of tilted towers? Loot llamas are rare, but if you ever find one of them, you know you're in for a good game. They take around 8 seconds to drop, but they give a player 200 wood, stone, and metal, as well as some pretty useful healing items. Loot llamas actually used to be a lot better, giving players much more materials, but they were recently nerfed for being way too good for players that came across them. One thing you might wonder about loot llamas is how to predict where they actually spawn in the map. Loot llamas seem to spawn in a completely random location, so actually finding any of them can be a pretty challenging task, but if you really want to find some loot llamas, there's one myth that has yet to be busted, and if that's true, it might actually end up helping you. According to Fortnite Insider, this map shows some pretty accurate data on where loot llamas can be found, and they all lead to a pretty interesting conclusion. Loot llamas really seem to love either being high up or along water. Considering Tilted Towers is right next to the river that leads to Loot Lake and a bunch of mountains, it's pretty unlikely that one will ever end up at the center of Tilted Towers. Who knows though, all those YouTubers saying they found one there might just be clickbaiting it. And as an honorable mention, we've got Can You Make It Back to Spawn Island? Ever since Fortnite Battle Royale released, there has been something of a quest between players. It isn't an official quest or a challenge laid out by the Fortnite development team, more of a challenge between the players themselves. A challenge to try and make it back to Spawn Island. For the longest time, it was essentially impossible to make it from the main island and back to the Spawn Island. But then shopping carts were added into the game, and that was when everything changed. It's common knowledge that the shopping carts in Fortnite Battle Royale have more bugs than any other item added to the game. People can randomly go flying when they use them, and you used to be able to glitch through the ground using them, and there's a whole bunch of other random crazy glitches that probably haven't even been discovered yet. But by far the biggest and craziest glitch that you can do with the shopping carts is the one that lets you get back to the Spawn Island. By building as close to the Spawn Island as you can, and then crafting a small ramp, you can activate a pretty weird glitch that sort of floats you over to the Spawn Island itself. You can't do much while you're over there. I mean, it's the Spawn Island. There really is just nothing that you wouldn't expect to be there when you first spawned into the game, but at first people thought that going to Spawn Island was a one-way trip, and then Lachlan actually managed to get back to the main island after going to the Spawn Island. They still died to the storm though, so going back to the Spawn Island with this glitch isn't exactly a winning strategy.
Yo, take my launch pad. Go.
Make it.
Go, put it down.
Come on, hurry.
Yeah, let's go.
Yep, I'm gonna need revived along with Vic right away.
Revive, right away. Straight away. Yeah,
I need a revive too.
We can make it back.
Astronauts
Astronauts
Wait,
out.
are we gonna make it to land? Oh, it's gonna be like perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wait, I might not make it.
No, you are. There's no way you don't make it, Curtis.
Wait.
I don't want to hear that.
5 seconds. Oh,
No!
Oh, no! Go on, boys!
Go!
Go!
We got this!
Thieves! Jump! Oh no!
No! We did it though.
We made it back to land.
Number 1, does hitbox correlate to the size of your character? One of the things that makes Fortnite Battle Royale so fun and interesting is the crazy amounts of skins and cosmetics that you can equip in game. The only thing that gets people confused about the skins in the game is the fact that some of them are different sizes. Take for instance the tomato head skin. His head is literally a giant tomato and is way bigger than some of the other skins in the game. Wouldn't it be a bit of a risk to go around with such an easily shootable head? Well, the truth of the matter is no. It isn't really that dangerous to go walking around with your head that big because the hitboxes of your character do not actually correlate to the size of your character. The hitbox sizes actually stay the exact same no matter the size of your character or which skin you're using. This debate was really settled ages ago with people doing some pretty in-depth tests to find out the truth, but for some reason it feels like there's still talk about hitboxes and character sizes every time a new skin comes out.
They are, and also what type of skin they are as well, using like the night and stuff. So here I am using the crossbow trying to get hit markers. You can see that I can shoot through the shield, but sometimes when you shoot through the top of the helmet it goes through and sometimes it doesn't. So when I hit it makes it like a weird sound and stuff, and you can see here I would get it goes straight through the helmet, I get no sound, but when I hit in the face it would get a hit marker sound. So it's interesting to see things like this being like happening in the game, and it's something that doesn't usually like care, and it's just something that it doesn't really affect you at all in gameplay, but it does affect you when you're choosing your skin and stuff, because I know a lot of people can get a little bit confused sometimes if maybe they've got one of these skins and they're like, I don't want to wear the skin because the hat's too big.
But that has been our list of the top 5 Fortnite myths that need to be busted. Be sure to click that like button and subscribe to the channel. We hope you have a wonderful day, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.